Welcome into Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host Josh. With me is Chris Kaufler, the baby, the heel now, the heel of the show, and we have, of course, one of our favorite guests, Clutch. I had to get him on today because of the big news. Before we get into the big news that dropped almost 6 hours ago that I just found out about, make sure you follow us at Finstock Sports Network, at RTW Chris on Twitter, at Josh Kimball OUS, and at I'm sorry, I never remember your Twitter handle, by the way, but.
On the screen, Josh. Miami
uh,
Clutch PE. Let's get it.
That's what it
It's
is?
it's right there on
Yeah,
the screen.
Well, that's a
on the screen.
hashtag. I didn't know it's usually an at sign. I don't know
You
these
should
things.
really
Listen,
put an at, but I usually have a hashtag there because I talk shit with my hashtags, but I don't have
I'm
anything for today because, yeah.
I'm an old man. Hashtags, at signs. I don't know what those are. But speaking of old men, guys, we're gonna get right into it because we have a lot to talk about. I do want to let everyone know this is a Royal Rumble preview show. We will be mainly discussing the Royal Rumble. So I'm going to give this first topic a time limit. We're only going to spend 10 minutes on Vince McMahon and what's going on and what happened in the whole saga, right? There's a whole thing that led up to this. That's how Clutch actually got on the show today because I retweeted something about Stephanie McMahon and how this is how WWE handled it after they even knew all the stuff. And Clutch you think this is what about? Well, yeah, come on the show, let's talk about it because I think it's an open forum and we're a safe space here. We all have our opinions, so let's start off real quick. Vince McMahon news came out where he has been alleged to be sex trafficking by a woman. Brock Lesnar's involved. John Laurinaitis is involved. A lot of things going on, right? Nothing factual. They're coming out saying it's all hooey and applesauce. The Wall Street Journal saying, nah, this is the story. So, off the top, Clutch, since you really wanted to be on the show to talk about it, give me your opening thoughts. No questions, just thoughts.
Okay, so the thing that bothers me the most about this is that the actual thing is getting lost. That Vince McMahon, I don't know how the cursing works on it, is a piece of crap. And that's getting lost because the narrative that bothers me the most about all of this, they're trying to make it about, okay, Vince did this, so that means for sure Triple H, Stephanie, blah blah, go down the list. Nick Khan, of course, they're covering up. They need to go too. They need to overhaul all of WWE. That's the thing that bothers me the most because it gets lost. The real situation gets lost, and that Vince McMahon is a piece of shit. John Laurinaitis is a piece of shit. Brock Lesnar, I think in the document I read part of it, he was heavily implicated. He wasn't named, but it said former UFC champion. So yeah,
Definitely not Punk.
unless you're talking about he came back for one crown jewel event. What's his name?
Oh, gosh.
To face Brock. Unless you're talking about Buddy, I forgot his name.
I know his. I don't know his name, but I know exactly who you're talking. The guy who had one match.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
with Rey
for the
Mysterio.
WWE
He
Championship.
was with
That's
Ray.
crazy.
He was with Rey Mysterio, right?
Yeah. So like those three people are implicated, and like little fact about me that nobody knows. I have a background in like business management and like business crisis for stuff like this, and like people say, oh, why haven't hasn't he been kicked off the board yet? Why this, why that? And like people don't understand, and they think, oh, TKO's covering it up. They want to keep him on, but no, I honestly think Vince he's out of here. But when allegations like this, extra allegations like this come up, they have to go through that process of due diligence. They have to go to doing their own thing, make their own calls, and then they released a statement calling the alleged acts, horrific. And all the tone in that statement from TKO was pretty damning, and it told me that basically Vince is probably out of here sooner rather than later. Then obviously Vince McMahon denied it, and that he's gonna fight this and da 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 da. So and yeah, but going back to the thing that pissed me, because the whole thing that started this was the post that you retweeted about Stephanie doing the thank you Vince thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, this was him when he retired. The allegation, the first wave of like Wall Street Journal news came out, then he decided to retire. Um, and I don't know. I just don't think it's just Stephanie or Triple H or any of them just trying to cover it up. I think it's more Stephanie. No, like this is just me, my thoughts, right? This is Stephanie knowing her father is like, if you give him his nice going away, maybe she thought, okay, he's gonna stay gone. Give him this nice thank you. Okay, bye. Go fuck yourself. Sorry for the language. But yeah, that's basically where I stand on. I don't think people thinking too much into this, saying you need to investigate everybody. There's three people that need to be investigated. One that needs to be gone for sure. One is already gone. Laurinaitis is gone. He's been gone for 2 years now. Uh, Vince is the one that needs to be gone, and then you need to. He was implicated, and the lawsuit needs to progress, and he needs to be named, and then you can maybe do something about Brock. Obviously, if you're WWE, I don't think you want to bring him back for the Rumble anymore or for WrestleMania season, but we'll see. But yeah, that's where I stand. I probably have a lot more that I missed, but that's my gist of this.
All right, fair enough. Chris, do you have any thoughts on this whole debacle, this whole disaster that is Vince McMahon?
I don't have too much just yet, only because when I texted you earlier, I mean, how long ago was that? Not even an hour ago.
I was a Hungry Howie's on 301.
Yeah, so like,
I had no idea that this happened.
Yeah, me either. Like, I just knew something was happening because every time I opened Facebook, there was another wrestling meme, and it kept suggesting Vince McMahon. I'm like, something's up with him now. Like, what is it now? Because I haven't been on my phone all day, very busy day at work, so I wasn't around my phone when this broke 5 or 6 hours ago. But it just seems like it's just more of the same. We realize that Vince is just an absolute scumbag. Definitely needs to go. I hope that they basically give Vince McMahon the Vince McMahon treatment. Go ahead and get rid of him. And should they just do the same thing, TKO, that he does to people and just kind of scrub his existence as much as they can from the product right now, at least for the time being? Because, every time someone like a Hulk Hogan or whoever would get in trouble, it's like they didn't exist in WWE for a while. They'd be gone off all the media pages, the videos, like everything would be gone all of a sudden. But they probably need to disassociate with him as much as possible and stay away from him. And it's like, as bad as it is, I feel like the more we hear about him, like, it's just not even, it's sad to say this, but it's like, I wasn't overly surprised. Like, we've just learned that he is not a good person. I don't know if it was just over the years, all the money and the power or whatever it is, but it's really unfortunate to hear that this is happening, which to me, I'm going to guess that we're probably going to hear a lot more of it coming soon, because usually these things come in waves. One person comes forward, and then that's when other people start feeling comfortable to come forward. So I don't think this will be the end of it either. I think we're going to hear a lot more.
Yeah, fair. So I've been thinking about this thing ever since you texted me, and I'm not surprised one bit. Oh, wow. Big surprise. Vince is a scumbag. And I look at the timeline, and now this isn't an accurate timeline. I didn't have time from the time I drove home from Hungry Howie's to here, but I started thinking about it in my head. When all this first came out, when it first came out, and Triple H finally took over, and Vince stepped down and retired, he didn't want to retire. He was forced to. He even said that. I listened to people that tell me to step down. It was a bad decision. That's why he got back in. During that time, before he retired, remember this, where he would just come out unannounced and just stand on the ramp and just walk backstage? Do you guys remember that at all?
Just to prove he can.
Just to prove he can and to gauge the reaction he would get. That's the reports. To gauge the reaction that he can and to prove that he could do whatever he wanted to do. Because he is a scumbag, egotistical jerk-off. So then he finally does step down. Stephanie has been elevated up. Triple H has been elevated up. Nick Khan has been elevated up. A couple months go by. Everything's going well. The transition's going well. I'm actually starting to watch the product. This isn't about me. I'm just saying that I'm starting to watch the product. Ratings are up. All of a sudden, we see Vince back. We hear, oh, he's back. Oh, he's in there. He's in the locker room. He's in the in the gorilla. But it's not announced yet that he's back. It's just he's back there. Then Stephanie resigns. His own daughter resigns when he's officially back. That tells me everything I need to know. Not that she knew anything, not that she knew the exact details, but she knew something was going on. This is just my opinion. She didn't want to be a part of it, She didn't want to be embarrassed. She didn't want her name to be drug in the mud. She had enough. She has a family. She has kids. She's made enough money in this business. She just left. Who else has just left like that? Right? Stephanie just left. Triple H stayed there. Vince was still in control. The product died after that WrestleMania. The Raw after Mania was just dead. Vince killed it on purpose. And then the product sucked. Vince started paying everyone off, paying this woman off, paying this woman off, paying this woman off. Everything got paid off. Then his good friend, very good friend, Ari Emanuel, gets sold WWE and TKO. Might I say, very good friend. Vince did this because he knew everything was about to happen. Everything was about to just come storming in on him. And the best way to keep him safe and keep his money and keep everything was to sell the company. He's been buying it. He's been cashing out his stocks. And then all of a sudden, TKO's like, okay, we got to get rid of this guy, get rid of him, get rid of him. They've been pushing him back. They've been pushing him in the background for so long. They just hired The Rock to be the board of directors. And then this Vince news came out. You cannot tell me. I'm not saying Triple H knew. I'm not saying Stephanie knew. I'm not saying anyone else knew. But you can't tell me that Ari Emanuel didn't know, and you can't tell me TKO didn't know. And I would not be shocked, and I'm not saying that this is true. I would not be shocked, though, if you hear some other people's name in TKO involved in this later down the road. I would not be shocked whatsoever. Because we all know, scumbags hang around scumbags. There's a reason why Trump and Vince McMahon are really good friends. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is involved. I wouldn't be surprised if anyone's involved. Anyone, period. That's just, we don't know these people.
Yep.
Misery loves company. And there's a reason why he didn't sell it to the Saudis, didn't sell it to this person, that person, this person. Sold it to his good friend who would take care of him and take care of his company and make sure he is safe down the road. And that's exactly what happened. Everything's happening what Vince wanted to happen. Everything. And that's just the way I see it. All these people defending Vince and this and that, I see it. I see the defense out there. I don't get it. I don't see the wrestling community, and I'll just say it, is one of the dumbest, lowest IQ, lowest. I can't even think of the word, but I don't mean to call the viewers dumb because most of you watching aren't. But really, they are the lowest of the low form of entertainment, and they're not smart people. We see it all the time in football. Deshaun Watson does this, does that, gets massages. Boom, canceled. Everyone hates him. Vince does all this stuff. Oh, we still love Vince. We still cheer Vince when he comes out, right? Happens every time. Vince can come out tomorrow on SmackDown. They'll cheer him. It's just a fact. It sucks, man.
Yeah, it happens. And it happens in wrestling in general, like you said. For example, with the Jericho stuff, right? He came out after they were singing Judas.
Yeah, they were.
They were singing that. So I'm not saying everybody was booing him, but they were singing the song. That's what I mean when I'm talking about the giving to your point about wrestling fans. Now they just pop for the character and they don't care. They don't really care about the human being, whether he's a piece of shit or not.
That's true. It's so true. It's just like Tony Khan. It's not a WWE versus AEW thing. It really isn't. But Tony Khan gets a lot of heat for going nuts on Twitter. And if that's the worst thing he's going to do is be a nerd on Twitter and rage against Tony 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. He's going to talk bad about, Sasha Banks 1, 2, 4, 7 and argue with them. If that's the worst he's going to do, then fine. But Vince has done 10,000 times, bajillion times worse, and people still accept it. And I just don't understand it. Like, if I truly care, like, I care. But what I mean is, like, Tropicana Field on Saturday should be empty in protest to get rid of this fucking monster. In protest. They should, but they won't. Nobody will. You paid your tickets. Chris, you paid your tickets or your money. You're going to go to the show. Vince isn't going to be there. But if he did show up, guarantee you half the crowd will pop. Guarantee.
Yeah, which would be wild. I've not understood anyone cheering him for like the last 2+ years, at least. But you're right. Every time he comes out, everyone hears his music hit. They all jump out of their seats and start cheering, and I don't get it.
the last time I saw Vince, have any of you seen Vince live lately? Because the last time I did it was when WrestleMania was here. And it was the first time he showed his face in a long time. And he came out, right, night one. I went to night one. And he goes, "Welcome back." And that was it. And everyone was like, "Wow." And I'm just like, what the fuck? This guy sucks. Like, he's the reason why this sucks. But this is before all the allegations. And there was, anyway.
Yep.
But that was our 10 minutes. We actually went a little long. Any final statements on this whole disaster? We're going to get into it later on, of course. There's going to be more news coming out, but
no, that's good for me.
Yeah, I'm good. I just don't want to talk about him because he's just WWE had a very good week to start with The Rock and all that, and
we're going to talk about
it just kind of got that hampered by whatever's just going on right now, and especially with the Rumble in 2 days, I really think they need to make a point of it if they want the Rumble to go smoothly. Obviously, I wouldn't go as far as you when it goes to they should boycott and just not show people shouldn't show up to the Rumble, because honestly, I just think that's just punishing the superstars at that point and people that are there day to day, which Vince is not anymore. And I just don't agree on that sense. But I don't want to go. We can go like 20 more minutes into this, and I just don't want to.
It just sucks. The same day, and the same day this drops, they fired Kevin Patrick, which I'm all for getting him off television. Kevin Patrick's probably the worst announcer I've ever heard in my life. And I do
hard.
Huh?
It was a little harsh to fire him. Removing him from commentary 100%.
Yes.
But to fire him?
That's ridiculous. So you're going to fire someone who was put in a position that wasn't made for this. But you fire him. But you're alleged sex trafficker. Sure. Make billions, buddy. It just sucks in the corporate world sometimes. Kevin Patrick, I'm happy I'll never hear his voice again on WWE television, but he could have easily been a panelist or backstage interviewer or something like a Byron Saxton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was on commentary for a while. He was good, but they moved him away. I don't know if you know who Kevin Patrick is, Chris. He's the worst announcer in wrestling history.
I saw the news on him, so I know kind of who you're talking about, but I didn't really pay much attention whenever he was on. So, as you know, I haven't watched much. I'm going to pick it up again if we are officially. I've told you for like over a year now, year and a half. As soon as the Vince McMahon era is officially done and over, I will start watching again.
There you go.
Because it'll be much better under Triple H.
So, as my guest, this is it. We're not talking about Vince anymore. So, my guest, Clutch, our guest, Clutch. What do you want to talk about? Did I do it?
Well, obviously, you see the picture I have today, and I just chose the most, probably just considering everything, the most unproblematic guy I could think of. You know, got his cover, salutes for 2K. But yeah, and I think a lot of things happened today because this other thing got brushed up under the rug because I think it was yesterday or the day before, how a random report from Sports Illustrated came out. Have you heard about this?
Mm-hmm.
That Cody's not main eventing WrestleMania. He's not going to finish the story. And those are sources close to Triple H. And on top of that, Gunther was set to win the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. Those were the two reports coming out of Sports Illustrated. And today, which got completely buried under everything else, the same guy that wrote the article said, "Oh, I was fed false information. I'm sorry." And I thought that was hilarious.
I don't think that's true. I think everything he said was true. Gunther winning the Royal Rumble was, to me, a lock. I thought that was going to happen. That was going to be my pick before Dwayne showed up. And Punk, by the way. I was going to pick Gunther. And as far as Cody not getting the main event, I'm all for that. I'm all for it.
He's going to get the main event.
I don't know.
Especially The Rock with the whole TKO thing. He was on First Take, right? I think. Yeah, he was on First Take, and he was talking about wrestling again and wrestling against Roman Reigns, and he says he's a slow burner kind of guy.
Slow build.
And all that leads me to think that match is happening at WrestleMania 41 and not WrestleMania 40.
I'm going to lose interest by then. I will, at least. I've already,
I-
and I'll tell you this, Clutch. I know I'm not a bigger WWE fan than you. I get it. But I've already lost interest in Cody and Roman. I have zero interest in that. Almost zero. I'd rather see almost anyone else, and it's because they've been separated for so long. There's nothing there. Their first feud was nothing. Their first feud was, well, Roman was trained by Dusty. That was like a 1 week promo, and Cody's just like, hey, this isn't personal. I just want your title. Finish my
Oh yeah,
story.
it was
There was
it was a
nothing
month.
there.
It was a month build.
Yeah, and now there's nothing. There's still nothing. There's still absolutely nothing going on. It's not
I
even
think,
storytelling.
but I think people, you say that, and a lot of people say that, and then the tune changes as soon as they interact. Uh, and I can think of that one time, I think it was on SmackDown, when Jay and Cody were tag team champions, and Cody just happened to face off with Roman. Immediately, the interest was back on. Everybody wanted it, and that's what it is. I think that the moment they face off again, it's going to be the hot match again. And me personally, I know you have your own opinions on it. Me personally, I'd rather see Cody and Roman, and Cody winning the world title, or the WWE title, instead of Rock and Roman.
That's fair. That's fair. Chris, what about you as a casual WWE fan? Because I feel like WWE goes for the casual, especially WrestleMania. They do. They
Thank
go
you for
for
that.
no, but you're the hardcore guy, right? But the casual fans like Chris and like myself, we'd rather see this huge show, the spectacle,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Wouldn't you rather see Dwayne, Chris, versus Roman? Or are you more of the Cody guy?
Come on, you know that The Rock is my guy. For yeah,
Exactly.
from a casual fan standpoint, it definitely makes more sense because I've been able to follow with all the head of the table. I know that the relation there, that's an easier story as a casual fan to follow and to know what's going on and to have interest. So I feel like Rock and Roman definitely has more mass appeal for the casual fan. For the hardcore fan, it's going to be Roman and Cody. So it's just a matter of which direction. Now, if it's Triple H now running the show, is he going to gear his show more towards the hardcore fan like he did like when he was in charge of NXT rather than the casual fan like what Vince always did? So I don't know if either match is necessarily a lock just yet at WrestleMania. It's going to be an interesting couple of months to see how they map out the next few months leading up to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
It, it,
that's the
it's
beautiful thing about the Rumble, that after it's over, you kind of have an idea of the direction.
Yep. Yeah, we'll know a lot after this Saturday.
I mean, we're gonna get the predictions. We're gonna get the winners soon. But we're still gonna talk about the Rumble in general. Now, because trust me, I got a wild card for the women's side. By the way, probably not, probably the most
Okay.
obvious one. But no, I'm going obvious with both of them, to be honest with you guys. But my thing is with Roman and Cody, and I told you, I'm telling everyone this. When it's years down the road, when it's 10 years down the road, my son is 15. I had to do that quick math. I'm gonna go, hey son, you were 5 at this time, but you don't remember. Let's watch WrestleMania 40, Roman versus Rock. And he's like, whoa, the two legends, right? I don't think Cody's ever going to be known as a legend. Maybe I'm wrong because he is still young. He can still get up there, but I don't ever see him being over. I think he's still always going to be overshadowed by his dad, always. And he's in an era right now where, let's just face it, Punk said it himself. Punk's the bigger star. Roman's the bigger star. Even though Cody beat Seth 3 times in a row, Seth there is a bigger star than Cody. Right? Cody's not even top 5 in his own company right now. He wanted to be the big fish in the big pond, but right now he is. But he's never going to be on the level as Rock. Is he going to be on the level as Roman? I don't think that's possible either. So that's why right now you can't wait. You can't risk injury to Roman. You can't risk injury to Rock, or Rock's tied up in a movie, or whatever it may be. You got to do it now. And I think this is the right time because I do think they want to break Hogan's record. And I don't think if Cody loses again, the story's dead. But Rock can get away with losing and Roman keeping that title through SummerSlam and then eventually losing it to whoever he loses it to. Why can't Cody win the title at SummerSlam? Why not? Why does it have
Well,
to be WrestleMania? Why
he
does it
would need
have to be WrestleMania?
to break Hogan. Roman would need to go past SummerSlam. It needs to
Pass
be
them.
for the Royal Rumble.
Okay. I thought it was
So,
around SummerSlam area. Okay.
No, it would be I think like a couple of weeks after SummerSlam, and the next big event would be the Rumble, obviously.
I mean, but why? I mean, the way Nick Khan is doing pay-per-views or premium live events now, everything's in. We talked about this last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. They're in France, they're in Australia. Every show's a huge show. Every show is Wembley nowadays. Not as quite as big as Wembley, but you get my point. You can still lose if they were wrestling at Elimination Chamber, 72,000, 62,000 people. That's a big show. You can still drop. I mean, not everything has to be WrestleMania, and I think fans are conditioned where everything ends at WrestleMania and starts after WrestleMania. Like, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl. I get it, but it's so predictable that way. I would like to see something different for once, just for once.
I agree with you, but I think that title reign needs to end at WrestleMania. Just that title reign. I'm not talking about any other titles, but that one does.
Yeah, definitely. With how much they've been building it and how it's been such a focus and everything,
And I don't think they care about Hogan's thing, by
Mania.
the way.
What's that?
I don't think they care about Hogan's thing that much as much. They just on Raw they glorified Hogan. I don't think they care about Roman breaking it.
I think Triple H cares. I think he wants all of his guys to be. Gunther broke it. We talked about this, I think, and Bianca broke the SmackDown, whatever. I think Triple H wants his guys to break all the records. That's why Gunther had it for so long. That's why Romans keep on going. But I would not be surprised if Cody wins the Rumble and does face Roman Reigns. That's the only way. If Cody wins the Rumble, that's the match. If Cody loses the Rumble somehow, it's no longer the match.
Oh, when we talk about the Final Four and the winners, you're going to see why I disagree.
Okay. You want to get into the Rumble now? Because we can get into it. We got a lot. We got with the women's and the men's. We're going to be predicting the first two people. And Chris, did you have this? I know Clutch is ready. Do you have it, Chris? I texted you, or I didn't text it to you.
I saw it on the list, but I don't know enough about stories to really have a solid answer like you guys are going to have.
All right, well, try your best, Chris. Try your best. So let's start off with Clutch. The men's. Let's do the men's first. The first two people in the Rumble, Clutch. Who do you think the first number one, number two? Last year it was Gunther, and who else?
And Sheamus. It was the perfect numbers, 1 and 2.
Yep,
it was
awesome.
Perfect. I think they're going to go away from going perfect. It's going to be probably a 1 and 2 that are going to last 15, 20 minutes each max. And I really couldn't pinpoint it down, and maybe I can't even. Maybe with the whole I'm being screwed over thing, more excuses. You can maybe Drew could be a 1 or 2, and then see this is where I kind of get stuck on maybe Drew Priest, because Priest is going to be in the match. I don't think it's going to be a fabulous 1 and 2 like it's been, like for example Sheamus, Gunther, and some of the previous ones. I think it's just going to be one of those.
I think I'll go first, Chris, so I'll let you think about it. I think it's going to be storyline driven. I could easily see R-Truth and Damian Priest.
That'd be cool.
I can easily see, and they're like, I don't know how that would work though, because they need to have some kind of conflict where Damian wants to knock him out because he wants to win, but like, oh wait, I can make this guy help me win, and maybe they're just like talking whatever, like they entertain the crowd for a little bit. We've never seen that before. We always see like number one and number two, and they go off and have a good whatever, how long it is. But I really think Cody's going to be number one. I think Cody, you couldn't be 30 last year. Oh, Chris is gone. I think he was 30 last year, and he's going to be 1 this year. And I think he faces off against like maybe one of his friends, maybe like a Jey Uso, someone like that, just to have a good little match. I don't think it's going to be too crazy. Nothing like Drew McIntyre, because I have something saved for him later.
Okay.
We are going to predict our 30s, but that's who I think. So, Chris, I know you don't know much about what's happening, but you're there for a ride. I think you're on mute still. We'll go back to you. Just give us a thumbs up when you're ready, Chris. All right. So let's get into what did you want to get into at the Final Four? Did you want to talk about some storylines in the match, some good spots? You know what? Let's do predictions of like superstars that maybe return, some legends. Who do you think, if there is any surprises?
For the men's I think is going to be very few in surprises. I think the main surprise is going to be Andrade. I don't think there's going to be a major. I'm probably missing somebody because when you try to think of a 30-man match, you're always going to miss somebody. But yeah, for surprises, Andrade for sure. I think it's borderline a lock for Andrade to be the surprise. And
Andrade.
Yeah, and I can't think of anybody. You're probably going to say somebody, and I'm going to be like, damn, that's obvious. But yeah.
I'm gonna be a mark, man. I want Matt Cardona in this match so bad. I really just want Zach, but not Zack Ryder. You got to be Matt Cardona. I think that would pop the crowd huge. And here's one that no one's talking about. People are talking about it. People are saying it's not going to happen. Maybe too soon, but he lives here. He's from Tampa. Lives in Tampa. New Day's feuding with Imperium. Why can't Big E come out and knock out good old Gunther and they set up an Intercontinental Championship match for WrestleMania?
And the 6-man tag Elimination Chamber, Imperium versus New Day.
Yeah,
that'd be very sick.
Why can't that happen?
You know, you just reminded me of one, and I think it would be a really good one actually. Also lives in Tampa. Why not John Cena? Give him a little face-off with CM Punk once again. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. I'm here for that. Chris, can you hear us? Or you give us a thumbs up?
Yeah, I'm good now. So as you know, I've been operating off my phone lately, and 8:00 at night I get a spam call, and apparently when I get a call, it just drops my camera and the audio, and I was like, what the heck? But I'm back now. So
all right. So we already talked about our 1s and 2s. I mean, you're probably not gonna have anyone, but just throw some people out there.
Well, you took the one guy I could think of because, again, I don't know a whole lot with what's going on in storylines right now. But you took the one guy I was going to mention, which was going to be R-Truth, because I thought and we're not going to dive too much into it, but with everything going on, putting R-Truth out there first, just a funny, easygoing, I think it would set the mood in the beginning for the Rumble, for the men's Rumble match. As far as someone to go against them, I don't know. I have no idea who to go against them. But I would like to see R-Truth right at the beginning, kind of put some smiles on some people's faces.
R-Truth, and then maybe you could have like Finn Balor come out or anyone but Priest. I think Priest would be too obvious. By the way, I do think R-Truth, I think I said this last time, R-Truth is going to be the reason why Damian Priest turns babyface. And then the Judgment Day turn on him eventually because of R-Truth. Setting up. It's going to be awesome. Then we talked about Chris. Surprise entrance. Who do you want to see? Who do you think is going to be there? I predicted Big E. I know. Yeah, why not? He lives here in Tampa.
Is he healthy? I thought he still had a ways to go.
He says that.
Yeah, you think that's just kind of a cover?
Well,
you never know. It could be true, but you don't know.
Kofi and Xavier Woods are feuding with Imperium. Gunther needs to drop this title eventually. I said, why not Big E come out? Boom. We got now now we have the full New Day versus the full Imperium. We could have a 6-man, a trios tag match. And then we could have Big E versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Because now if Brock Lesnar's out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, if Big E was available, I'd love to see him come back. That would probably be one of, if not the biggest surprise pop of the night. Because, who else is going to come out that's going to be a bigger surprise than a returning Big E? How long has he been out now? Do you guys know offhand?
Over 2 years.
A long time. Yeah.
Over 2 years, yeah. Over 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And I could easily see Cena getting a huge pop. Clutch brought up Cena.
Yep.
Pops are awesome. I can see X-Pac. He lives here. I know, but we always he's close to Triple H. Why not bring in X-Pac? Why not? They bring in, how many times did they bring in Tatanka? Or how many times did they bring it in the past?
You remember Jimmy Snuka versus Roddy Piper in that one Rumble?
No,
it was
I did not.
2008. It was 2008.
Was that the Jericho year?
No. Was it?
Remember when Jericho feuded with all the old timers because the wrestler came out?
No, I don't think it was.
Okay, all right.
I know it was the year that Cena came back way 3 months earlier than he should have. 4 months earlier than he should have.
Okay.
It was in Madison Square Garden. That's the only reason I remember that.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's going to be legends. There has to be 30 men. Like I said, X-Pac lives here, and he's a good friend with Triple H. That makes sense. That's a lock for me. I think he's going to show up. And he said Andrade making his return to WWE. I don't know if he's a big enough star for people to care, but I could definitely see him coming back. What about Braun Breaker? Is he doing anything in NXT right now?
He's gonna be in the finals for the Dusty Cup.
Okay.
So I don't think so.
How many years is he going to spend in NXT? How many years?
I think he's a post Rumble call up. I think.
All right. So let's get down to it. Final 4 of the.
Oh, can I give you my number 30 yet? Because I'm very adamant
Oh,
on this
okay.
guy
Oh, yeah.
being
You
number
know,
30.
we should do number 30. Okay, you're right. You're right. Thank you for helping me out. Number 30, Clutch.
1000%. I think Gunther should be number 30.
Okay.
1000%. And I'll explain more when we get to the final 4. But that's my 30.
That's your 30. Okay. Chris, you?
I would love to see Gunther be number 30 because I would like to see him win the whole thing.
Me too. Me too. I think my 30 is going to be Drew McIntyre, which you brought up earlier, which I'm glad you didn't spoil. He is complaining way too much. This is not fair. This is not fair. What if he comes out 30 and loses? What's your excuse now, Drew? Seriously. That'd be good. That'd be good storytelling right there.
Yeah.
Come out 30 and you still lose because you're a loser. I like Drew's character, by the way. I hate how they're tweening him. Like, oh, is he a babyface? No, he's clearly a heel. He just needs to lean into it a little bit more, and he's about to. This is the beautiful thing about Triple H. It's a slow burn with Drew, and when it hits, and it's going to be awesome. Hopefully he sticks around. I heard he's not under contract. So now we can give our final 4s. Chris, I'm going to say you first because I don't want you stealing our ideas, you heel.
So you just want me to pick 4 names at random here then?
Yes,
right?
I do. Yes.
All right, let's go. Is this who we want it to be or who we think it'll be?
It could be either way, man. Interpret it the way you want.
Interpret it. See, you tell me that on our previous shows. It's open to interpretation. Like whenever we do those top 5 lists, and then you'd be like, oh no, you did it wrong. It was supposed to be this way. My top 5 list is completely different than yours.
So, but just whatever you want. You're a casual, so just pick.
I'm
your
a casual.
favorite.
Okay, pick my favorite. So then, if it were a final 4 of people I would really want it to be, I would go Gunther. I would go returning Big E that we just talked about. I would go my boy Sami Zayn, although I know that will never happen. Well, maybe he might make a final 4, but he's never going to win one. And then who else? I don't know. Who else are they going to throw in there for a final 4?
I mean, you haven't even put the probably 2 biggest favorites in there.
But you said do whatever I want.
Okay, all right.
As a casual, you said pick whichever ones I want. Those were 3 people that I would like to see make it to the end. And I don't care. Wild card, pick the 4th.
Wild card pick. Anyone.
Just as long as those 3 make it in.
Okay.
That would be fun to see.
All right. Clutch, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go last, or do you want to go next?
I don't think you'll steal my entire 4, so go ahead with yours.
All right. Mine's pretty clean cut, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You gotta have Phil. Phil needs to be in there. You need Gunther. Gunther has to be there. He cannot not be in the top 4. He's built too strong. So there's Phil, Gunther, Cody, obviously, right? Cody has to be there, and Drew. That's the story. I don't think I stole all of yours, Clutch, but that's the story right there. I don't see anyone from SmackDown making it to the Final 4. SmackDown, I don't think even has a person that says they're going to win it. Have you watched SmackDown? Clutch is like, hey, that guy's got a chance. No, nobody. Not one person.
The biggest name is probably Bobby Lashley. And
we laugh at that.
Yeah.
And we laugh at it. So give me your Final 4.
So you got 3. You got 3 of my 4. So and you probably know who, because based on what I said, I think Drew's actually going to come in early, so I don't think he's going to be in the Final 4. Cody, Punk, Gunther, Dominic Mysterio.
Tell me why.
He's going to weasel his way, doing stuff that his dad did in 2006 by just hanging onto the ropes. Going outside the ring, taking breathers. Nobody is going to be one of those things where you think it's the final 3 is Punk, Cody, and Gunther, and you don't know that Dom is still in the match. And I think the final 2 is going to be Dominic Mysterio and CM Punk. and CM Punk is going to win the Rumble.
Interesting. You know, I don't know why Dominic. Tell me why Dominic. Just because he's a hot heel.
He's a hot heel. I like Dom. I actually do like Dominic a lot.
I like Dominic a lot too.
And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the live events that Punk worked were both with Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
So the final two being Dominic and Punk, they have some familiarity with each other. Maybe they can work out a little cool finish. That's why I have that. And I think Gunther's going to kill, quote unquote kill, because he's not going to kill it. Kill Cody's WrestleMania dreams.
So I don't hate that at all, actually. I agree with you that Punk can't eliminate Cody and Cody can't eliminate Punk. They can't do that. That feud's going to be way too hot when it happens. Off topic real quick, in 3 words, did you enjoy that promo on Monday night between the two?
Yes.
Chris?
I mean, it was whatever.
It put me to sleep. I'll just say that. It really put me to sleep. And I'm not joking when I said that, Chris, because when you text me it's up next, I was fighting because I was already tired. I watched it the next morning when I woke up. I fell asleep again. It was good, though. It was good. I will say this. It was good. People expected way more than what they wanted. They wanted AEW. They wanted this. They wanted cheap shots. It was never going to happen. It was good for what it was. It was good for PG television.
Yeah,
but you also got to think, when has other than that one time they randomly did it with Sami Zayn, when has WWE ever mentioned AEW?
They never will, but they'll backhandedly do it. CM Punk did it multiple times.
I mean, during the promo, they alluded to it about Cody said that he did what Punk talked about, and he did that.
That's a recycled promo. We already heard that promo. He did that promo in AEW. The same exact way, the same cadence. It was unreal how he did the same promo. Chris, you remember, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that for sure.
Even the I did that. The same freaking tone. But hey, I loved it both times. I think it was great.
Wasn't there like a side-by-side video of the two of them?
I didn't see that side-by-side.
It was like the same video with the same promo. Yeah.
But that's probably why I didn't enjoy it as much, because I've seen this before. It's a rerun. But I did enjoy. I wish they went a little bit harder at each other, but they have no reason to. They're both baby faces.
Yeah, it got disrespectful a little bit towards the end, and then they just flip back to mutual respect, walk out, each go their own way, and that's it.
And it's going to lead to a bigger story down the road.
And that stare down and the eventual, they're going to break down and fight in the Rumble. Is going to receive a pop, a big pop.
No, so that being said, my long way to it, Phil Brooks wins the Royal Rumble. And he eliminates Drew McIntyre. I think Drew's him and Drew finish it. And
so we have two Punks, and I don't know what Chris picked to win the Rumble. But.
I'm gonna go with Gunther.
Okay.
That's what I'd like to see. I would prefer to see Gunther. Your guys are probably right, and especially on your final 4. I mean, if even as a casual, those are 3 of the same 4 people I think will make it there. But again, you told me to do whatever I want, so I picked the 4 that I would, or the 3 that I would want there. But it definitely seems like Punk and Cody and whatever. Like they seem like the ones to be there.
Gotcha. We're gonna skip. We're not skipping the women's Rumble, but we're skipping Netflix. We're skipping a bunch of the rankings coming back because we're going a little bit long. Let's real quick, not spend too much time on the women's, but we will talk about it because I think there's some interesting storylines going into this one as well. Real quick, 1 and 2, Chris. Who do you want to start the Royal Rumble? Who would you pop for at 1?
Who would I pop for?
Yeah.
At 1? I don't think it's going to happen, but your girl, if she finally shows up in a wrestling ring somewhere.
Stop.
I mean, outside of that, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to be there. I'm going to be there to enjoy the show otherwise.
He's talking about Mercedes.
Oh, by the way.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah.
She's not showing up. She signed with AEW.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But that would get that's all the more reason why it would get that much bigger of a pop, is because it seems like it's a done deal that she's at AEW.
Yeah, she signed. So what about you, Clutch? Who's your number 1 and number 2 in the women's?
One of them I think is going to be Becky Lynch. I don't know, one or two. Becky Lynch and storyline purposes. Becky Lynch, Nia Jax.
That means Nia has to be eliminated fast because she can't make it more than 10 minutes.
She's gonna I'd say she's gonna last middle of the way. Then she's gonna get ganged up on by 8 or 9 people, thrown over, and the Rumble continues.
Is this before or after the 7 women jump on her and then she's down here and she goes, whoa, and then every wrestler.
The Big Show spot.
The Big Show spot, or the Omos spot. Oh, does Omos show up during the Rumble? We didn't cover that. That should be a prop bet.
I hope not.
Over under Omos appearances.
In Vince's WWE, I would say 100% he's showing up. Who knows?
I'll take the under.
My 1 and 2 in the women's. I really think that Becky does start it off. She has to. She's one of those girls that can go. And Bayley. I think they're gonna start out hot. I think the women's start the show. Whenever you sit down, Chris, and it's 8:00 or whenever they start, you hear whoa, and everyone goes nuts, and you're gonna see Becky come out, and then you'll hear Bayley.
Yeah, you think they would go with 2 of their biggest stars right off the bat?
Do they want to put people to sleep with Natalya versus Tamina?
No, I mean you got to put. I would think they put one of them, but to put both of them 1 and 2,
they can both go.
Okay,
that's the thing.
Yeah, they can. They can.
I mean,
I hope so. That would be good.
If you're gonna open the show with this match, which I think they will, you're gonna need 2 studs. Like I said, if you throw out Becky and Natalya, that's gonna put you to sleep.
Yeah.
You need something like, oh wow, Bayley, like a big megastar, Bayley megastar, like let's go.
I'm all for it. I want to get there, and I want to be immediately sports entertained.
Oh, Clutch. You see what I got to deal with on a day-to-day basis? Did you give your 1 and 2? I forgot. I'm not going to lie, Clutch. I'm not going to lie. I think you said Becky and Nia. I hope Nia misses her flight. I hope she doesn't show up.
I still remember the Rumble last year, how he just jumped the gun, didn't even wait for the countdown. Straight came out at number 30.
She's the worst.
Fun times.
What do we go next? Surprise appearances?
Surprise. I have so many possible because it's a women's Rumble, right? They're gonna be understaffed in terms of women, so they're gonna rely on returns. So I have a bunch that some of them are wishful thinking, some of them are actual. I think it's gonna happen.
Can I change my 1 and 2? Can I change my 1 and 2 after you say your surprises? Because one of mine, I just realized one of mine has to be 1 and 2. But you go ahead and say it.
Okay, so for surprises, I think it's pretty much a done deal that Trinity's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Naomi. I think Trish Stratus is going to be in the Royal Rumble. I think this is where we get into wishful thinking. 2 people, and one of them is going to be number 30 if the wrestling gods love me. Mercedes number 30. AJ Lee number 30.
Okay, I could deal with AJ Lee. But Mercedes.
I'd honestly rather have AJ Lee than Mercedes come in the Rumble. By the way,
I would too, because I don't want to see her in WWE. And I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't hate it, but I don't see her coming back there just yet. She'll come back, but she won't be back yet.
I'm honestly just dying to see her booked under Triple H, which I haven't seen since NXT. So.
And it was great. So yeah. I thought about her afterwards, and I don't know why I didn't think about putting her. But when I went to WrestleMania last, I bring this up because it's the last WWE show I went to. Naomi was just Naomi. But when you turn the lights off and the techno music going, you bring it to the floor, and she's going nuts, and everyone, dude, that I've never seen a pop. Nobody got a pop bigger than Naomi that night, besides Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was out the roof. But whenever Naomi came out, and this is before she was megastar Naomi, women's champion Naomi, people went nuts. So you're telling me Tropicana Field turns the lights out, you see these green neon lights, bring it down, boom, boom. She goes nuts with her glasses, and Michael Cole, oh, for the first time in 2 years, Naomi, and that'd be a good one or 2. That would freaking knock the roof off the Trop, I believe. So I think Naomi's gonna be 1 or 2.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, that because they do entrances she has a good entrance. She does. You got to they put Elias 1 because he liked to sit in the ring and sung a song, right? Yeah. And then they did the Jeff Jarrett gimmick. they like to use that one as a good gimmick to get the entrances in because the
Yeah,
entrance
back
is very
when
popular.
Punk was the Straight Edge Society, when he got to do the sermons from like 1 to 5, and just be
So
on the mic the entire time. Yeah, they like to do that.
yeah, they like to do that stuff. So anyway, so another surprise, Jade. I think
Oh
we
yeah,
see.
Jade. I forgot about
I
Jade.
think
Yep.
Jade will be. I think Jade
And,
will be
oh,
there.
here's an
Yep.
extra one. I think I changed my mind. They're not gonna gang up on Nia. I think Jade just throws her out.
I hope.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be a good spot to put her in too, because then there's so much other things going on. So, because I know they wanted to work with her, get her a little bit better trained to the WWE style. Like that would be the perfect spot for her to make her WWE debut is in the Rumble where there's a lot of other things going on. There's not 100% focus on her.
I hope they taught her more moves than flexing and
Yeah.
posing because that's
Yeah.
what she did in AEW.
Yep.
She would just do a move and go shh for like 5 minutes. Like, all right, Jade, we're gonna do something else. Then she would do a move and flex. I hope they actually teach her. Seriously, I hope because she's talented. She's very athletic.
And she showed some flashes of that in the beginning. Like I think when she first wrestled her first match, like mixed tag with Shaq, we're like, oh, she was better than we all expected, and then she was kind of above what we all expected what she would be, and then like after a while, like you said, yeah, it just kind of turned into she would do 2 or 3 moves and then flex the rest of the match. So she like regressed a little bit.
Big time. Britt Baker regressed too. Okay, that's all my surprise. You said AJ Lee. I think she shows up. I think she's a lock as well. Christy, if anyone that you can think of on the women's side,
You think AJ is a lock?
I think she is. She
I
was
hope
brought
so.
up. She was brought up on WWE television. Her name was already brought up, and that tells me you don't bring up anyone's name, even if you are Phil Brooks, unless it's a reason. And when he brought up April, there was a reason for that.
It's 100% been at least offered, right? 100%.
Yeah, and she's gonna be there. I think it
Hope
was a
so.
package deal. I think it's like, hey, you want me to sign? Like, get her in the Rumble.
But do you think
Yada,
she's
yada,
coming
yada.
back or one time?
A
Rumble?
one-off, like Michelle McCool or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think she wants to do it full time, but who knows? We don't know her. But yeah, so we go from surprise finishes or surprise entrances. Now, do we go to the number 30 spot? You, Chris, who do you want to see coming out 30?
Well, 30's always got to be somebody big. So I mean, if the AJ Lee stuff is, if there's any truth to it, that would have to be the person in the 30 spot. Like, I just feel like the 30 spot needs to always be reserved for somebody big. In the years that they don't do someone big, it's always a little bit of a letdown. So like, she would be the perfect candidate for the 30 spot this year.
Okay, Clutch, or do you want me to go first?
For the 30?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same for me. I think it's obvious. AJ.
Okay, I think my 30 is a little bit different. I didn't name this woman for a reason, as a surprise.
Okay.
Why can't we get 5 Foot of Fury back? Alexa Bliss. We haven't seen her in a long time. She had her baby a while ago. Why not have Alexa Bliss come back to the number 30 spot? Do you think she's done wrestling forever?
No, she's gonna come back, but I don't know if she's ready to. I don't know from the baby. I don't know how the timelines work for that.
I don't know the timeline either, but it's just a prediction, and it's something I'd like to see. That's all. I miss her. She was really good on television. I thought she was a good heel on television.
Do we know who had their baby first between Carmella or Alexa? Because I think Carmella could be an option to come back at some point during the Rumble.
I think Alexa had it before, but I'm not sure on the baby watch.
Yeah.
I don't. I think Alexa's been pregnant for almost 2 years now, so I think she's had to have this thing
For 2 years.
I swear, she's been pregnant for a very long time. All right, final 4 for the women's. Start off with Chris again, because you know what? You're so casual.
I am. When it comes to, listen, this time next year, I'll have some better answers for you guys because I'll be watching Triple H's WWE. But for this year, I don't know. I was thinking someone, you guys keep talking about Becky coming in at 1 or 2 or whatever, but I would think she's got the star power to be around for that final 4 spot. We're talking AJ Lee. I think she'll be there. Bailey's got the star power to be there. So I don't know. But you guys seem very set on them coming in early in the Rumble to set it up. And you guys watch it a lot more than I do. But I think you want those big names. You want people that you think can actually win the Rumble. right at the end there, right? Because if you got one or two that they're like no chance, then it's not as exciting. You got to have 4 people that people are going to believe in that can actually win it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So do you want to go first, Clutch, or do you want me to go, or do you want to alternate?
I don't know. Up to you. What do you
All right,
want
how
to
about this? How about this? I name one, then you name one. I name one, then you name one. But we can duplicate. So I don't want.
Okay.
I don't want you stealing. I don't want you stealing my stuff. So I'll start off. Bailey.
do? Okay, we're matching there, Bailey.
Okay, Bailey. Becky.
AJ Lee.
Okay. Trinity. Naomi.
This is a good one, and this is just me wanting it. Roxanne Perez.
Not bad. I think, unfortunately, Nia Jax.
Oh God.
Unfortunately.
Please no.
Hold on, I lost track. I said AJ, Bailey,
AJ.
Roxanne.
Bailey, Roxanne.
Bianca.
Oh, so we don't have so you don't have Becky winning. I thought you'd have Becky winning.
No, I have Bailey winning.
I have Bailey winning as well. I have
I
Bailey
think you can get to Rhea versus Becky another way.
easily another
Yeah.
way. We don't get Bailey versus Io ever without her winning the Rumble.
And it's a much better story because in my whole like rough fantasy booking, I think Bailey either accidentally or gets fed up and eliminates Asuka at some point during the Rumble.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I think that they stay cool throughout the Rumble. On SmackDown, she comes out, brags that she wins this, that. I think it's gonna be a slow burn to her going, you know what, Io, I pick you.
You know what I think it's gonna be? It's gonna be similar. Do you remember? It was a while ago, a long time ago. The Batista decision with Evolution.
Yeah, that's iconic.
Where because the whole time Bailey said her master plan was Io's is the champion, and the Kabuki Warriors were gonna win the tag team titles. I think they're gonna win the tag team titles tomorrow. I think they have a tag team title match. I think they're gonna win those, and then it's gonna happen. Bailey's gonna win the Royal Rumble. She says she's gonna pick Rhea, and then, like you said, slow burn. Something happens, and it's like, you know what? F you. Let's go, Io.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. It's gonna be awesome. Chris, did you give your winner?
Give me Becky Lynch.
Whoa. Yeah, she's gonna be in a main event with Rhea Ripley, so it makes sense. And I think Bailey does get guy, in Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania as well. So that's it. That was our Royal Rumble preview. I'm excited for it. I'm actually making plans to watch the entire show and not fall asleep. It's hard for
really
me.
Quick, what do you guys got for the other 2 matches?
Roman, lock of the year.
Do you think that match is going last?
Yes.
I think the only way it goes last is, and I do think it's going last, is Rock comes out afterwards.
Yes, I think so too. I'm telling you, I don't think Cody wrestles Roman at the Rumble. I think it's Rock and Roman.
Nah.
And I think Cody has to be pivoted somewhere else. I don't know where. I couldn't tell you where. It all depends on Seth and his availability and how his injury really is.
Seth, I think if he's planning to wrestle, it has to be Seth and Punk. So it can't be Cody and Punk.
No, but I think Cody gets delegated to maybe Drew.
I'm not interested in that match.
Neither
to be honest.
Neither am I. The only other way I can see this happening is, let's say Roman drops the title. Let's say Randy RKO's Styles, and he wins the title, and then we could have Cody versus Roman. But you already said it. You don't want to boo Randy yet.
I'm not ready for that.
But
I'm not ready. I won't be ready to boo Randy until at least SummerSlam.
Listen, someone's losing their spot, and it's going to be Cody again.
I don't think so.
I hope. Listen, I'm on your side. I hope Cody gets, because I'm a Cody guy. But it's The Rock.
I think he's finishing. I just can't shake it. I think he's finishing the story, and I think Rock is getting punted. Not punted, but he's moving down to 41 and not 40.
Chris, I'm going to ask you this because you were here and you knew it. Who predicted Roman to win last year at WrestleMania? Who was the only one?
You did.
Yes, I did. I'm not wrong on these things.
Do you know how much that sucked? Like, if we can like talk about it for a second, like I remember just by and I like it got rehashed by seeing the 2K commercial at the end where with the spear and then Cody just sitting in the middle. You know how much that sucked? And before the match, Cody gets the grand entrance and Brody's kid is ringside, and everything was set up for him to win, and then just Solo just spikes him.
Look, I was laughing like a maniac because I saw it happening, and I couldn't stop saying, I told everyone. I was the only one who said this was going to happen. Like, I don't remember one other person predicting Cody to win or lose. And I'm like, guys, Vince buries anything not WWE.
Yeah.
That's why Punk's not winning. Now that Vince has control of this, but Punk's not beating Seth. Newsflash, everyone. Punk's not just coming in and becoming the champion. It's not going to happen. It's not fair to Seth. It's not fair at all. So newsflash to everyone out there, I'm calling it now. CM Punk, Phil Brooks is not coming out of WrestleMania as a winner. Him main eventing is good enough.
Yeah, he's finishing his story. He wants to main event WrestleMania. He'll main event night 1, and it does. His story wasn't winning the main event. It was just main eventing.
Yes, and Seth will walk out, and then Seth will eventually lose it to Damian Priest, I believe. The next time.
And eventually, and fantasy booking way down the line, Gunther becomes a world heavyweight champion at Bash in Berlin.
That'd be
awesome.
I'm all for. I was. You know what? Who's made the biggest turnaround in my life in wrestling so far, like in the past 4 years, is Gunther. You know how many times I came on the show and made fun of Walter? Like, not Walter, but like you changed your name to Gunther.
Oh
now,
yeah.
like, if he was named Walter, I'd make fun of this freaking nerd. Gunther is such a great name, and we all trashed it when it happened. We all did. Don't lie.
And now Gunther is so much better than Walter ever was.
Ever was. And it's all because of one guy. Him. He freaking crushes it. Well, Triple H too. But Gunther is so believable. When he came out there and confronted Seth, and he did this, and he's going to do that, you believe it. Gunther is a freaking professional wrestler, and I can't wait to see him on.
You saw that he got the date for the Royal Rumble wrong?
Yeah. And everyone's
Kept
like,
saying Sunday.
It's Saturday. And Michael Cole's like, don't worry, it's Saturday, guys.
No, and then he fixed it on Twitter, which is hilarious. He was like, I'm doing this for my people. The Rumble is on Sunday at 2 a.m. in Germany or in Austria.
That's awesome. I wish Moxley could do something like that. Remember Moxley did that at AW? Sunday, Saturday, whatever fucking day it is.
Yeah.
Handled like a professional. But guys, we got to get out of here. It's been fun talking Royal Rumble with you. Chris, you will be there.
Yep.
Me and Clutch will be watching on the Peacock, streaming it live.
The cock?
Yes, on the cock. If someone is watching this and has tickets and can't go, hit me up. I'll still go. Zach Blobner, if your station's still giving tickets away, let me know. I'll try to win them. If you can, please. I want to go so freaking bad. You know how much tickets are right now, Clutch? Do you know how much tickets are for the worst seats in the house?
I'm guessing a whole freaking lot, considering everything going on with the star power there.
Yeah, it's about $180. I got to get going. My son just woke up crying, so follow us everywhere: X, Twitter, Instagram. Yes, son. He needs me. We're gonna close it out. Hard stream. Peace out, guys. Thank you again, Clutch, for coming on anytime.